Welcome everybody to a brand new video on the 15th of January of 2026. Just can't believe we're already midway through this month, and this month's almost over. Before you know it, February is going to be here. Now, before we begin, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching the 2025 Christmas holiday project that we just wrapped up earlier this week on Sunday. Now, I was supposed to come on after the Christmas holiday project, but unfortunately, during the production of that and the start of this week, I ended up getting under the weather and catching a cold. So I had to rest up and recover. Thankfully, I'm feeling a lot better since yesterday, and I'm glad I'm able to come on. Now, while I was sick, someone came into my house to drop off a large box, or should I say bag, of VHS tapes. And it was my old counselor, who's a big fan of my YouTube channel, back from my days of Heartshare. So if you're hearing this, you know who I'm talking about. Big shout out to you. Never would I thought I would have to face my past. But anyway, it's a really nice honor, to get so many of these VHSs, especially from someone who's a big fan of my YouTube channel and has been watching me over the either the past few years or over the last 11 years since I've been on. So I figured in this video, why don't we go and check out all these videos that I was gifted as a belated Christmas gift from a fan. Well, why don't we get started? I'm gonna start things off with a book that I got in. It's Lion King 2 Simba's Pride. This is a 1998 book that tells the entire story of the Lion King 2 Simba's Pride. It's a really nice book. I hadn't read the entire thing yet, but I'm gonna have to sit down and check it out. But of course, it looks like it's one of those audio products from, of course, Walt Disney Records. And of course, everybody should know that I'm a big fan of the Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, especially with the music of how awesome it was, just like the original Lion King movie. Alright, so now let's check out the VHS tapes, and we might have to split it into parts because there was a lot to digest in here. And if you see any movements or in the camera, it's either my dog or something that's just moving around, or you're just looking at the Christmas lights that are just going on and on. With all that said, let's check out the videos. Alright, first up we have D2 The Mighty Ducks. I believe this is a 1994 VHS, I want to say, from Walt Disney Home Video. Yeah, before The Mighty Ducks became an animated series, there was a time that it used to be a live-action movie. And this one starred Emilio Estevez. I can't pronounce the name. But Jeffrey Lawrence from Sneak Peek says, twice as many laughs as the original. Now, I want to give you guys a heads up. I have 3 copies of the same VHS I was gifted, so it's kind of funny. So this tape was printed on July 15th of 1994. Alright, next up we have Robin Hood. Now, this one came pretty damaged, the box art, so it looks like it has seen better days, or wasn't in the greatest condition. This, I want to say, will be a 1991 VHS, which is, of course, from the Walt Disney Classic series. Yeah, but I was right. It was printed on May 24th, 1991. All right. Next up, we have Ed, which is about a monkey, playing baseball. That starred Matt LeBlanc. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. And this tape was released in 1996 by, of course, Universal City Studios, Original Films, or... you know what I mean, I'm so tongue twisted. Kids News Network calls it hilarious family fun. Yeah, there might be some movies here that I never even heard of, so I do apologize in advance. Alright, so here's the tape, and I believe we do have a print date here. Here we go, 33rd week of 1997 and 55th week of 2001. So I want to say this is a 1997 and 2001 reprint. So, yeah, double reprints. Okay, back to the World Disney we go. anybody from who grew up with my YouTube channel should know that I used to have this tape until I gave it away in the pandemic. And now 6 years later, I am now reunited with it. And it's, of course, Flubber, the 1998 movie that stars the legendary late Robin Williams. Okay, so, almost dropped the tape. Here it is in its beautiful glory. It was printed on April Fool's Day of 1998. Yes, I'm really glad I got Flubber again, because I think I've seen the movie. I'm not too sure. All right. Next we have D3, The Mighty Ducks. This one will be a 1997 VHS, and of course this came out a couple of years after the events of Mighty Ducks 2. Hollywood Reporter called it packed with action, slapstick, hijinks, and all the glorious stuff of the movies. And here's the tape. It was printed on November 25th, 1996. I think it was either a day or two before Thanksgiving of that year. All right, more Disney train fun continues. We got So Dear to My Heart. This is a 1994 VHS. It looks like it came from a classic movie, because you could tell it's from the Walt Disney Masterpiece collection. So of course, here's the spine, and here's the back. Leon Martin from the Disney films calls him one of Walt Disney's loveliest films and the most precious film classic. And of course, before I show you the tape, we got a business reply mail where you can mail to the people at Walt Disney Home Video in Burbank, California. And then you have a video catalog which introduces everything you need to know about the Walt Disney Golden Classic Masterpiece Collection series. You got Sword of the Stone, Dumbo, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, Pete's Dragon, of course the video that we're looking at, So Dear to My Heart, Robin Hood, Alice in Wonderland, The Three Caballeros, and of course the Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke classic, Mary Poppins. And of course, you got Nothing to See in the back. Here's the tape. It's printed on August 18th of 1994. One thing about these is that sometimes it's hard to even try to close the tape. Sometimes either the sticker labels are in the way or any other stuff. All right, next up we have another tape that I have in my collection already. So I believe this is my second copy. Rescuers Down Under. From, of course, the classic series. I want to say is a 1991 VHS. And, of course, it's in okay condition. All right, so here's the tape. Oh, I was wrong about the release here. This is a 1992 VHS because it was printed on February 23rd of 1992. So, my mistake. Okay, so we heard about The Jungle Book, and everybody should know about the animated film, which was Walt Disney's last animated film. He produced it before he passed away. Well, in the late 90s, we got the live-action version, which was by Rudy Dog Kingpins, which Good Morning America calls it great adventure, great thrills, and great fun. I think this video was released in 1997. Family Life calls it a rousing family adventure. I mean, I never watched it, the live-action versions of The Jungle Book, because I was more into the animated one. But I know when I was a kid, I used to have a live-action version, but it was from 1996. And it was not from Disney. It was from Columbia TriStar Home Video and TriStar Pictures, if I remember. And this is also one of the few Disney tapes to not even have a print date. And it even has a sticker label, compared to it being in ink into the tape. All right, we have Pocahontas. This is another VHS that I already have in the collection. So this is my second copy of Pocahontas. Of course, from the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection series, despite the fact that this tape was released in 1996 and the movie came out a year prior in 1995, which just a year ago was celebrated its 30th anniversary. Now this year marks the 30th anniversary of the home video release. Now, as you can see, it's not in the greatest condition. All right, so here's the tape. It was printed on January 15, 1996. Ah, look at that. And today is January 15th, so what a coincidence. What a coincidence. Alright, here's my second copy of Hercules. Of course, everybody should know I really love Greek mythology, and Hercules is one of those famous movies I would love to watch over and over again. Now, I already have it on VHS, so like, I want to say this is my second copy. Of course, from the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection series. Alright, so it's a tape. It was printed on December 29th of 1997. So it's a early print date, even though it's a 1998 VHS. Oh, almost forgot to share this. This is, I believe, a video catalog, I want to say, where you can save up to like $4 when you buy Disney's Hercules plus one of these eligible videos, which is, of course, it's so hard to see because, you know, it's very little. Bed Nods and Broomsticks and James and the Giant Peach. It even shows you how to get $4 Rebel by the mail, which you have to mail it between February 3rd and March 2nd of 1998. And over here, you can save $5. You get Hercules and this movie. I'm not sure because, you know, it is very small. Over here, we have Family Fun magazine. It looks like this is a December issue that was released. Not from 98, but from 97. So, this looks kind of cool. It says, free issue, no risk. Get America's #1 family magazine today. 100% fun from Disney. We have the Family Fun Halloween Party and the Family Fun 5th anniversary issue. I think these are from 97. So it's nice to see, you know, old magazines, you know, from way back in the day. I mean, they're kind of cool. Because nowadays, people don't use magazines. Well, they do. If, you know, they want to check the catalogs and stuff. But since, you know, we live in an age where the internet is so accessible in today's day and age, I feel like magazines could be obsolete. But it's, you know, kind of nice to check them out. All right, here's my third copy of Rescuers Down Under. This one is in a really bad shape. Well, the cover of it, but not the tapes. Excuse me, the tape itself. The tape itself is all right. This one was printed on March 3rd, 1993. So it's a 1992 VHS that was reprinted in 1993. And of course, it's from the classic series. All right, I'm going to jump in with two of the doubles. Here we have The Lion King, which is the 1995 VHS, and the 45th anniversary edition of Peter Pan, the 1998 VHS. Now, both these tapes I already have in my collection, as well as, of course, Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, Lion King Special Edition from 2003, and the Peter Pan sequel, Return to Neverland. Of course, both are coming from the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection series. And just a year ago, oh wait, no, not a year ago, I'm sorry, 2 years ago, Lion King was celebrating its 30th anniversary. Last year was the 30th anniversary of the home video release of The Lion King. All right, so let's take a look at The Lion King. First was printed on January 6th of 1995. And now we're going to check the print date for the 45th anniversary edition of Peter Pan, which was printed on January 27th, 1998, which was just a couple of days before the last day of January of that year. Now, over here, you got this official mail-in certificate. You can save up to $10 by mail when you buy any 3 General Mills cereal, which are 9 ounce, which I want to say 9 pounds larger, and buy any one of Betty Crocker's participating product. As of course, you can see it advertises 2 Betty Crockers, actually 3, I'm sorry, plus some classic cereals that you guys may have grown up with, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Trix, French Toast Crunch. And I really love how very distinct 90s it looks. I mean, keep in mind, I'm from the 2000s, but there's just something about seeing, you know, old 90s advertisement that just keeps you, you know, that nostalgic feeling. All right. Here's Alice in Wonderland. This is a Canadian VHS that was released by Atlantis, I want to say. And for anybody that wants to know the release year, this is a 1999 VHS. Now, I'm no stranger to Canadian VHS tapes because everybody should know the closest I have is Powerpuff Girls plus A Favorite for Christmas. So, here's the tape. Now, I'm not sure how Canadian tapes are printed, but I'm guessing down here says 16 week of 1999. Any Canadians out there that knows how to reprint dates when they're Canadian releases, let me know in the comments below. But it's nice to get, you know, some more Canadian tapes, especially since I have a huge respect for people out in Canada. Up next, we have Richie Rich, which is by, of course, the legendary Macaulay Culkin. We know him for playing Kevin McAllister in the 20th Century Fox classic Home Alone. And this is a 1994 VHS. I mean, 95 VHS. I'm sorry. The movie came out in 94. From Warner Bros. Family Entertainment and Warner Home Video. Now, American Radio Network, or ARN for short, Gerald Gurley calls it one of Macaulay Culkin's richest performances. And it looks like it has something to do about a baseball coach. We'll have to actually watch the entire movie just to get the plot of it. Alright, so here's the tape. It was put in on April 2nd, 1995. Alright, everybody should know this movie because I've done it before when I was just a teenager. So, get your basketball and put on those NBA shoes because we got this beloved classic. I'm so glad I'm reunited with this tape. This is Space Jam. This is a 1997 VHS from Warner Bros. Family Entertainment and Warner Home Video. This is, of course, everybody should know, this is the legendary movie that stars Michael Jordan from one of the NBA teams. I already forgot the name of it. Let me know in the comments if you guys know. But, of course, we know he's with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Sylvester, Tweety, Porky Pig, the Tasmanian Devil, and Daffy Duck. And, of course, they're playing games. And this is kind of cool. We wouldn't get another Space Jam movie until 2021 with LeBron James. And I think that movie was hated on, if I remember. And this tape was put on January 27th of 1997. Which was just a couple of days before the last day of January of that year. Alright, back to Disney with the 50th anniversary edition of Melody Time. I think this is the one with Donald Duck in it. Of course, Daily News calls it a Disney delight. Alright, so let's open the tape. Here's the tape itself. Put it on May 12th, 1998. So far, I hope you guys are enjoying this. And of course, I want to let you know part 2 is coming right after we finish this video. Which I'm almost done with this one. And then get ready for part 2 because we got more tapes to look at. Okay, up next, this one, my mother said this was a American movie classic. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which is coming from MGM Home Entertainment and United Artists. The tape was released in 1998, and this is the 30th anniversary edition. Of course, like, you know, in Mary Poppins, this one also stars Dick Van Dyke, but it also stars Sally Ann Howard and Lionel Jeffries. I'll have to do my research online and see why Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is like considered an American classic, but I have heard a lot of great things about it. As for the tape, it was printed twice on the 149th week and 10th week of, not 10th week, September 10th, I'm sorry, 1998. My apologies, I'm so tongue twisted. Alright. We know Sherlock Holmes, but have you ever heard about The Great Mouse Detective? This is I want to say 1991 VHS, of course, from the Walt Disney Classic series. John Segal at ABC TV calls it its magic, and Skeleton and Lieber gives it 2 thumbs up. Which is also produced in association with Silver Screen Partners 2, with music by Harry Menti. This is another one that's also in somewhat okay condition, despite, you know, this. And you should, guys, check out the front. Looks like somebody took a green Crayola crayon and just decided they wanted to draw stuff on here. So this looks green. I wonder if the Grinch did that. It was printed on March 30th, 1992. Oh, so I think this will be a 1992 VHS. Interesting. Alright, we got 3 more to go. Alright. I think you guys should know who this beloved character is. We got Casper the Friendly Ghost. This one is a movie that was released in 1995. Yep. If you guys grew up with my channel, you may remember I have done Casper before when I was very young during my teen life. So this will be a good addition to put in for the Halloween Spectacular come at the end of this year on October 31st. So stay tuned when that happens. I think I remember watching, the Casper movie before. So here's the tape. It was printed on, if I can find the print correctly. Here we go. 51st week of 1996. Almost said 95, and 20th week of 1995. Definitely good movie. All right, here's another tape that I already have. Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. This will be a 1996 VHS, of course, from Walt Disney Home Video. Chicago Tribe calls it nothing short of astonishing. And like I said, I already have this tape. I think also with Homeward Bound 1, I'm not sure. We'll have to look at my entire VHS collection and check it out. So here's the tape. It was printed on June 7th, 1996. Oh, before I put the tape away, once again, we got promotions. Here's this video catalog. This one says the original classic that inspired the hits Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco, and Homeward Bound 1, The Incredible Journey. We have The Incredible Journey, which you can release it. I mean, not release, but you can bring home on home video. And once again, we have another business mail from the folks at Walt Disney Home Video. Man, this was back when Disney was just, magical. Not, so greedy like they are nowadays. And finally, here's a tape that I never had before. But I actually have this movie, I believe, on DVD. Excuse me, but like I said, never on VHS. James and the Giant Peach. Gilbert Ebert calls it a 2 thumbs up movie. This is, I think, would be a 96 VHS. NX Radio from Los Angeles calls it one of the most magical films of the decade. If I remember, this is based off the Roald Dahl classic book of the same name, and it takes live action and also a stop motion as well. Oh, and Fox Kids Countdown calls it an instant Disney classic. That's kind of ironic because many years from now, in 2019, Disney will end up owning Fox. Well, 20th Century Fox, which will then become 20th Century Studios. So here's a tape, and this was printed on August 23rd of 1996. All right, so that's a look at those tapes. Check it out, part 2. And I'll show you some more tapes that I got.